Yo, 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 and away we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the AEW Dynamite Sidecast Wednesday night edition here. Well, of course, Dynamite's on every Wednesday except for Tuesday. You know what I mean. It is December 13th, 2023. So great to have you all here. It is going to be a fun night of wrestling tonight. We got 4 matches in the Continental Cup tonight. If you haven't heard, we get a bonus match from the Blue League as the top 2 competitors on the blue side, Adreade El Idolo and Brody King, actually square off in their matchup tonight. So we get a bonus match tonight along with Swerve Strickland, Jon Moxley, Jay White, and Mark Briscoe, and then Jay Lethal and Roosh in the other matchup here. So those other 2 matchups look pretty inconsequential, but we're also getting the return of Next Strong to the ring with Roderick Strong here as he's taking on Adam Page. First match for Page since spitting out blood. It wasn't his own. And then we also get Ruby Soho taking on Riho tonight, which should be a very entertaining matchup. We're going to hear from the Golden Jets. We're also going to hear from Samoa Joe after the hideous attack on MJF last week that completely pissed him off. But yeah, I had a couple big announcements for tonight. And if you look on your screen, you'll probably see the first one up there. How the ref would book challenge. Well, I have so many people coming up to me and saying they want me to, how would I book this? How do I fantasy book that or whatever? So you know what? We're going to make it a points challenge this month and see how it goes. The most you could donate, and this is just your channel points. This isn't bits or anything. So if you take your channel points, you just throw them in the pot. If we can get, I believe I set it to 150,000. If we get there within 30 days, which is 2,500 by 3 people for every stream. So might be plausible. We'll see how it goes. If we don't get there, we'll see how far we get from it, and maybe we'll set something up anyway here. And the other one is for tonight, we have, for the rest of the month actually, starting today, it is Twitch Christmas bonus, Twitch year-end bonus. All original subs, not gifted, are 25% off now from now till January 2nd. And all bits, if you cheer more than 300, an extra 10% gets thrown on there by Twitch, just on the house. So if you guys are at all interested, please feel free to stop by the old Twitch stream and hit that little subscribe button. Be greatly appreciated. But with that being said, it's been a crazy, crazy day. I can now confirm after the work I did this afternoon, I will, myself, Rick Jules, James Crowder, we will have 365 videos for 2023 on our gaming YouTube channel. So it's one of the accomplishments I wanted to reach. And Monday's Mario Wonder stream was the second last one, and the last one was the Guilty Gear Strive stream we did on Saturday. So those have been slotted into their places. I just have to get the YouTube thumbnails up. And other than that, I've been working on a new recording style, and I created a new Twitch intro for Jules today. So hopefully he'll be using it here in the future. He can add it to his streams, make things look a little more fun. It's like similar to what I have. I actually do have to update my own here for the wrestling stream and get the new logo on the gaming stream. So we will see how things go there. And yeah, it's just been a fun and busy day. Mr. Zodiac, how you doing today? I hope you're doing well. And I hope everything's going spectacularly. I've been trying to convince myself to get into 1080 snowboarding after your podcast this week, but just try to break myself up to have an hour or so to enjoy it. So I did pick up #1 Twitch channel. Wow, thank you. I truly do appreciate that. I've been getting a couple of those. I know Captain N threw one in our Discord, which I'm very thankful for. And JJ also had that as well. Just the fact that you guys come out here, period, is just, it means a lot. And I do appreciate it. Going to do any art portion of the snowboarding like we talked about at the beginning? No. I'm not going to do my way to artsy fartsy, anything like that. Yeah. I'll be frank with you guys. Most of my podcasts that I listen to, I'm in and out of the truck all day at work. So I do listen to, like, I'd say a good 85% of it. But as you're starting the truck, moving around, going to the next venue, getting out, whatnot. I do want to see if those controls are as rough as you did mention in the game. Just because Makeshift actually managed to get me a original N64 controller for my Switch back when they were non-existent anywhere. So, might have to find a way to throw it up on stream. I only got one more game for sure scheduled here, and that's tomorrow. We're probably going to do a complete playthrough tomorrow of Transformers Earthspark. Ugh. I saw it. Thought the control was great. Landing was a bit shit. Yeah, that's what you were saying there. Like, anything trying to get over a 360 and then land. And Ed, good to see you, my friend. Good to see everybody here. I know I just threw it up probably just before you guys got here. There is a points challenge that you can enter in as well here. It's just your channel points. Doesn't cost you a dime. If you throw it in there, if we get to 150,000 by the middle of January, I will do one of those infamous how the ref would book videos. Because everybody's trying to ask me how I would book X and Y or Z. Yeah, so I figure, you know what? If you guys really want that done, well, let's get the proof of the pudding and see what you do here. I'm also buying myself time to get the teleprompter ordered in, so I'm going to be picking up one of those Elgato teleprompters. That's going to be my Twitch budget for the rest of the year here. After we donate last month's money to jack.org to complement the fundraising program, so. But yeah, honestly, Dynamite tonight, we are going to get a ton of good matchups here. The fact that I heard that we're getting Brody King and Andrade on top of the 3 Gold League matches tonight, that is going to be something we're checking out. So basically, we gave the top 2... Basically, the top 2 matches on the card are on both sides right now, right? So we're getting Swerve Strickland and Jon Moxley on the gold side and Brody King and El Idolo on the other side. Both these matches, theoretically, they could face again in the league final. Because I do believe they're doing a 1 versus 2 essentially league final, and then the winners face off at the pay-per-view. Which makes a little bit of sense because we have, 2 weeks left? So they can fit in both of those next week on Dynamite, or in 2 weeks' time, on the 27th. Because you're probably going to get most of the wrestlers who aren't going to be on that card for World's End. They'll probably work. Those that aren't on the card are probably not going to be out while they're enjoying their Christmas with their families. And you got... Everybody else will work the Wednesday, the Friday, the Saturday, right? I don't know if they got Collision scheduled for the Saturday or the Friday. I know last time they moved Collision to the Friday, so we will see. That They'll probably tell us like 2 hours in advance and nobody will watch it. And, you know, that joy of not being able to get Collision up here without having to pay an extra $8 a month. I'm still saying this right now. Why in the bleep and bleep bleep are they doing Winter is Coming in Texas when they had Montreal last week? That will always be unsettling to me.
You idiot.
Somebody in the booking department needs to be like, what the hell? It's interesting. They only got 2 promo segments, and this is one of them. Or 2 scheduled ones. It's a Texas snowstorm. What, did Trump dump some of his dandruff down on the ground somewhere? So I really wonder how they're going to do this here. Is Joe going to call out the Devils anyway? So I was going to donate the first 2,500 bits, or the channel points. But unfortunately, I can't for that challenge there. So you'd be looking for a fight. That's going to happen anyway. I'm sorry. That's just a matter of fact at this point. Oh, Joe's pissed. Now he's going to call Adam Page out. I bet she went home already. But he's already got a match with Roddy tonight. You know, there's a lot of people that like beer, especially in Montreal. Because, you know, the Belle Santerre, the Canadiens, they are owned by Molson. You never know, there might be a lot of beer there. All right. Hangman's he's got to make some kind of decent argument here other than I didn't do it. Oh. All right, chat. Who do you think it is, actually? Who did it? Ooh. All right. Whoa. What is that mustache? Seriously. Okay. I love what Roderick Strong is doing right now. So I love Joe. He's just sitting there. He's like, yeah, no, I'll deal with you later. You can. No, there's a bell. Now we're underway. Could you imagine it actually being Joe? Ah, the turtle. A plus the turtle. Too small for Joe? Too small for Joe. Yeah, you know what? Editing can do wonders for people. Hell, if you guys were here last week, I was basically a god with all the white hue that I had around me here. I actually had to... Oh, I'm waiting for that one, Brody and El Idolo, but... Yeah, I know, I forgot I had to change my camera settings before I got in here. So... So Rush has to win in order to try to force a three-way. Same thing with Jay White. So there. Oh, and just for the record, folks, if you're planning on taking off early, we actually TK did announce that he's doing a 5-minute overrun, which whatever. I just wish they would just do it. Hey, Parrish, how you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. I was lurking over at JPJ's stream when you popped in there for a quick sec. AEW coming back to Edmonton in April. I haven't got tickets yet. Sorry, it's May 8th. I'm probably going, but I haven't. With the way they reduced tickets the last time they were here, I'm in no rush to get them. I know I've talked to people that have already taken care of the pre-sale and all that, and I'm like, why? We'll have to see what happens there, that's all. For all I know, I might be moved by then. We'll see. You don't announce it overrun, you just do it. We all know it's part of the show. Telling us ruins it. Well, yes and no. If you have that Continental Classic match as a main event, and you run it at, say, was it quarter two or whatnot, 20 minutes before, I think it helps the fact that everybody knows that they can run right to the time limit in that case. And the other reason why they do it now is because a lot of people get pissed off because it's the PVR generation, right? And the PVR will shut off immediately at 8 o'clock. And when the main event comes up, everybody will get screwed. The fact that they actually tell you that it's going to be part of a... You can add time to a PVR, yet people still complain about... Well, no, it's not the... It's not the fact that you can't add time to it. It's just the fact they don't want they don't want TK telling people that there is going to be time added on. For me, I always set it up for an extra 15 minutes for a sport event. Unless it's WWE, then it add an hour. I learned my lesson at WrestleMania 32. You always have 50 to everything. Yeah, exactly. Like, smart people will do that, but let's face it, there's a lot of smart people that don't work on TV. You gotta love all 3-on-1s going on right now. I'll give you that one right there. I'll answer that one there for you, Parrish. All right, as we head into our first picture of the night. Got to make sure to mute the channel because, you know, certain places do not pay the bills here. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting if they actually do decide to reveal the devil at World's End. Knowing TK, he'll announce it right before World's End. Also, if you ever get to the point, I'll always avoid EI at Alberta. It's been, what? I would have to say since 96, I've never needed it. I think I've had maybe a total of 3 days off, 1 week off in between jobs. And that was on purpose. I quit right before Christmas at one job and started January 1st at another, so I think that was the most that I've ever been unemployed here, so. But yeah, the way they're developing this, I really do hope it's a Dima Leal or one of the WWE cutouts here doing that. Trying to find a place to land in a year. Job's running out, or is it... Oh, retirement? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Like, myself personally, I've... between the doctors telling me 4 times in my life that I wouldn't live past X amount of time, I just never contemplated retirement for anything, so myself personally, so have to do it for paternity leave, but my work's bonus came before my first check. Now I have to wait till January 19th for my bonuses. I'm not even getting paid half of what I'm... Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, we got lucky. We were dealing with our bonuses a little earlier this year. I pretty much mine went to bills, and then once everything comes in on the 15th, then I can do what I want to do with the rest of it. I did pick up overlay on the Elgato Marketplace, but after I upload it, after I purchase it, they say, oh, it doesn't work with Stream Elements. Well, there goes $40 that I can't get back. Because I want to do a new overlay just for... Like, I wanted to have one for sports games, one for wrestling, and one for... like the RPGs and whatnot that we play here, so. Then, of course, we have the Backbreaker Fight Club as well, so. I will never get tired of watching Roddy Strong work. His personality needs something. Sell it to someone to use StreamYard. Oh, well, it's... the only people that can use it are the ones that use Streamlabs, and I'll just hang on to it. You never know. I might go back to Streamlabs eventually anyway. The problem when dealing with free software is sometimes free doesn't last. And to be frank, and well, to be Mike, of course. If I had to make a choice here. Oh, a new video creator editing bundle. Hey. Takes a lot of work to do that. I was just saying off top of the stream that we're... Oh, here we go. Let's talk about editing overall, and I did a little bit more work on my last fighting game stream, trying to make it a little more thorough, trying to try a couple changes here and see if we can get a little bit of growth that way. Oh, I got a confirmation last week, by the way. Speaking of Revolution on the screen, we have renewed our deal with Beercade YEG for next year. So we will have the first 3 pay-per-views there, and probably all in from England over at the Pint once again. So if anybody's wondering about the AEW events, Beercade is hosting a Royal Rumble show there. At this point, I don't think I'll be making it there for that, but if you guys are interested, it is a hell of a venue to go watch with everybody there on a... Sorry, me and White Ave on a Saturday night just... Ugh. All right, let's see here. The Xbox logo is inspired by sourdough bread because the creator of Xbox loves... Wouldn't surprise me. Enjoyed your watch log for the Rumble? We'll see. Typically when... I'm not a tribalist, don't get me wrong here. I think AEW and WWE are great products. I also have a TNA membership that I barely ever use just because I want to support the brand. But frankly, most of the WWE pay-per-views I have as a background noise, unless there's something important going on. I'll grab a pizza, maybe throw on some... if any of you guys are Tetris 99 fans, don't forget to get on there between tomorrow and Monday. Tomorrow and Sunday with the Maryland Wonder skin that's coming up this week. So I got to remember to do that here probably on Friday. I'd be pissed if I was right behind that guy with the neck strong side with the Adam in front. Because the guy doesn't know how to put the fucking tie down. Pardon my French. Wow. Like I said, well, 4 times already here. I just love seeing Roderick here when he actually gets in the ring. This is the first time he's actually gotten a little bit of personality, which helps. That looked like a count of 12. It's a Boston Crab. Come on. I guess when Roddy puts it on, it's extra strong, right? Aubrey's counts are awful. You know what? I don't really think so. I think lately she's been, some people do get overbooked a little bit too much, and that was just, so is he going to overcome all three guys here? Oh, cross up cover. I can see where you're coming from, though, Parrish. The fact that, let's face it, Aubrey's overall experience isn't half as much as some of these guys here. Wow. When's the last time the Deadeye got someone? It's been a while. Usually he has to get that buckshot if he's going to get anything. Maybe they're trying to put it over a little bit more since Logan Paul's using it as a finisher now. Like, I'll straight up, it's one of the most frustrating things around. And I know that we saw this last week here on Dynamite. I didn't get a chance. I wasn't listening heavy into the commentary, but we've heard it both on Dynamite and we've heard it on SmackDown. Both programs fighting over the fact that they made X amount of money so far out of their big shows like Mania and you got, what was it? One first day for Philadelphia, they made $1 million. And then last week, they talked about making $1 million on opening day ticket sales for All In. For me, it's frustrating that way, seeing that. So yeah, basically, the winner of this, the winner of Strickland Moxley is going to be able to basically have a bye next week for more than anything. It's just better Hangman to have someone else because the risk of effing up is bigger in that move. Yeah. That's true. And yeah, like he's facing somebody like Strong with neck problems. That actually makes sense for that pin to happen there, right? Psychologically, they did do the right calculation there, so. But getting back to my other point here, it's just really frustrating when you sit back and have both these companies just talk about numbers that none of us really care about. Tell me how many seats you got filled. That's great. We'll enjoy that when you actually get to the event and, you actually have a decent crowd or not or whatever. And, yeah, it's just... both promotions are so good right now. Everything's rolling so well right now. If they stop getting in each other's way of being so petty, 2024 is going to be one of those breathtaking years that I think everybody's going to be able to just sit back and just be in shock and awe about. Because how many contracts are up in 2024? Regardless of how many are going to move. Like I think one night we're going to sit down here and we're going to talk about people that are we're going to figure out who's going to move, who's not, where we think they're going to go and whatnot. It'll be fun to think about. Just like if everything adds up here. Oh, little note. Sorry, I guess. No one has more pay than the fans who banter with WWE. Yeah, like, I've taken such a step back away from Twitter and their BS for the most part. Just, you don't need to overemphasize anything with that anymore. So I just, yeah, it ain't worth it in many cases. I've really unfollowed a lot of people when it came to the amount of BS going down. So, who cares? Like what you like, and you don't get a P. Just don't follow. Exactly. Like, I have actually unfollowed quite a few people where their opinions come up, and I don't care that you prefer one over the other. I don't care if you have a grumble about certain things happening. Hell, I have no fault with anybody complaining about the women's division here at AEW. It's growing, but not as fast as it should. Oh, we're getting King and El Idolo already? It's hard to mute or block trying to tear people down or be a dig about your opinion. Still use avocados and beer. Hey, sometimes it makes it good. Exeter, you're still not going to get me to change my voice on that. Maybe people think other people care about their opinions more than they really do. Like, don't get me wrong, I'll share my thoughts out. I'll share a lot of other things out on it. But the main goal for me to have that program right now is basically just to communicate with you guys when I'm on, when I'm streaming. If there was some way I could find a different way that would be a little bit more efficient, let you guys know. So does anybody else find it? Sorry, just random thoughts once again. Does anybody else find it coincidental? Sorry, CJ Perry on my screen. Just give me a sec. Much better. You find a little coincidental that Charlotte gets hurt and is probably going to be out for a few months, and now El Idolo is working a Wednesday match. Since Charlotte won't be working Fridays anytime soon, I don't think. You're entitled to have an opinion, but I'm entitled not to care about it, generally speaking. Of course. And the only good in is promotion, except Discord. Discord, yeah, for the most part. And folks, just a reminder, we do have a Discord as well. And if you're interested in the How the Ref Would Book challenge that is listed there for channel points, you might want to join up at our Discord here, because I'm going to open up a channel once we figure it out here and find out what things you want me to rebook. If you guys weren't here at the top of the show, we did open up a new challenge here. You can put your channel points in. If we hit 150,000 here by the middle of January, we get to, you guys get to pick a video for me to rebook a wrestling scenario. Like rebooking the Invasion, rebooking Moxley back to WWE, rebooking Punk's time in AEW. Rebooking the House of Black. Lord knows we got enough storylines we could rebook. And that'll be a full formal video with, the backgrounds, the edits, all that stuff. It won't be like a live stream that we're doing here. Rebooking the Young Bucks maturity, as even there too. Basically, that would have me rebooking all the way back to All In. And figure out what they could do with that whole brawl out situation. Yeah, there's lots of things I could come up with here. So please feel free to put your channel points in there. They're not costing you anything. All you have to do to get channel points is just be here. They come by a little quicker if you're a sub, but they still just come just by showing here. And for that, I am truly appreciated here. Now, right now, as we're getting into this, sorry, just get back to the match here. A guy like Brody King. You have 88.2 thousand channel points. Well, you can throw 2,500 in there if you want. The most you can throw in there is 2,500 a day. I was a little worried about that. When I originally was setting up, I was going to make it $1 million. But unfortunately, you can't do that because you really couldn't do that for a channel of my size because the most they're allowed to do is 2,500 a day, and you only have a month essentially to get this going here, whether you get the challenge done or not. Mess around with the noises too much to have any point. That's what lurking's around. There it is. First 2K in the books. Thank you, Zodiac. Muchly appreciated. And like I said, once we get to the goal here, we'll look at don't have a channel point making issue, just a channel point you mean they magically disappear? But going back to the point here, maybe you guys could correct me on this. Is there anybody else who's being exposed as an absolute top talent in this promotion? The Brody King here in this tournament? Like, you already knew Swerve was good. You already knew Mox was good. Jay White, he was just off a title match. El Idolo. Hasn't been around forever, but definitely has the credentials. Cassignoli, former ROH champion for like a year. Danielson, I don't need to say much more than that. Eddie Kingston, the champion coming into this. Like, realistically, like, Danielson to me was already made before this event. I think Brody King, a lot of people just knew Brody King is a lot to me like what Cesaro was in WWE before he got his push. His sort of push. That's what I thought. So basically, your top two in each group will face off in a final, which is actually smart why they're doing these two matches this week, because odds are these two matches you're going to see tonight with El Idolo and Brody King and Swerve Strickland and Moxley. I got a feeling those are the two semifinals you're going to see. Unless Kingston pulls off a miracle and pulls out 2 more wins. Because I think he has to beat El Idolo to get in. To me, the absolute great story off the top would have been Kingston and Moxley here in the final. But I would say Swerve had the popularity beforehand, but now being in the ring against top guys with more meaning like this tournament does increase Swerve's popularity too. That's fair. I think more. Best way to explain it is, for me when it comes to Swerve, it's like somebody you know that's already been successful, but you're just giving it that rubber stamp here. And Swerve's success in this tournament is essentially giving you that right to see who's going to be at that elite level like that. And I do think that Swerve's going to be the top guy that we can see for years to come. I'm just overly glad that Brody King's getting his due here. Like Swerve looks like he was going to get his due no matter what. King I wasn't so sure about. Just because he was putting that trios and nobody's really sure what was going to happen there. It's like we wanted Ziggler and loved him before the cash in, but when you saw him hold the title, it changes how you view him. Exactly. Like, sorry, I thought the commercial was over for a second. Dang pizza places getting free advertising on their stream here. Oh, Cross the Spider-Verse on Crave. Maybe I should get that. Andrade, stays or goes? Like I was saying, I think this would actually be a very fun stream to do one day, like just to sit around for us to discuss it and see where it goes. My opinion, he probably goes. But here's the X factor in that whole thing, and it really confuses me. Unless WWE starts unloading on getting a lot more women's talent in there, what's more Charlotte got to do there? She got a lot to do over here still. And as much as she probably doesn't need to hang around with her dad, maybe hang around with her dad would be something feasible they'd want to do. Of course, you'd have to change your name. That would be scary enough. Yeah, and Charlotte won't leave. Like, let's put it this way. Nobody said Copeland would leave. Nobody said that... nobody ever thought Punk would go back to WWE. Anything's possible, Parrish. When Swerve battles Mox and Danielson and the other top guys with a top guy title implication is one thing, but if he does well, changes how we view his capabilities. Yeah, absolutely. And I think after beating Hangman, it almost feels like Hangman is that gatekeeper for the top level. And let's see here. Charlotte seems the type to do it just to prove she could. That's the other thing. And Copeland's a different case than Charlotte. Well, by the time she gets back, are we sure about that? I get it that in terms of injury-wise, it's not the same, but booking-wise, for both, as far as I'm concerned, what else was there to do? Copeland did have a lot to do. Like for Charlotte, all she's got left is pretty much the two pirates that are there right now. The two new pirates. Rollins would be interesting. How legit pissed is he about Punk? I think there's more. I think he still is able to keep his emotions in check and willing to work. But I do think that he is legit ticked, and let's just say the next 6 months are going to be a lot of fun. Basically seeing how these rosters develop, and hell, even TNA's willing to throw out money too to land some big name players. So, like, they just announced today that they picked up Kushida, who was working a lot with them anyway. And the fact that he gets to line back up with his Time Splitters partner, Alex Shelley, in Impact Wrestling once Shelley drops the title. Jesus! You ever notice it's still stereotypical, regardless which promotion you're working with? If as soon as they say, "Oh, that's got to be it," yeah. The more successful these companies are, the better the wrestlers eat. Exactly. Like I think that's the case. I would love to see all of them flourish. Anybody that doesn't want to see a wrestling promotion work is an idiot. There's some you might not prefer to be around. Yeah, that actually was a very smart cover there by Brody. Basically holding down both shoulders, trying to turn things around. They really are trying to push this out. That wasn't a graze. Brody just unloading these bombs here. Think about it. If Rollins stays in WWE, says that WWE is, so why not Punk? Why would Punk whatever? In his own, why not Punk? Why would he do what Punk did over Rollins? Thought Punk would. You know what? Parrish, I'll be straight up with you. I think that Rollins will say what he thinks, but what he thinks can change very quickly on a dime. And everybody has a respectable ability to change their mind. Sometimes you're convinced to change your mind because if you've been fired from one company and you're not allowed to work, well, the other one is willing to give you some kind of money. It's not like WWE's new owners are the greatest either. No, they aren't. Not. Everybody was shocked about the Mackenzie Mitchell release earlier this, last week apparently. That was a very nice DDT. Wow! Wow! Sorry, I got approved there. Sorry about that. Vince may be a douche, but he's a wrestler's douche. And she has said she's open to a return at some point when asked if she's done with wrestling. I'm assuming you're talking about Rousey at that point. Here's the thing. I do think the wrestling landscape over the next year is going to change quite a bit. And it's going to be... Oh, you're talking about Mitchell. Okay, yeah. Oh, no, Mackenzie Mitchell, yeah. She's willing to come back. And... Oh, the Von Erichs! Oh, God. So the Von Erichs are working with Orange Cassidy. Okay, that should pop a rating a little bit. It's sort of ironic that does the movie come out on Friday or is it next week? The Iron Claw. Did you see MJF coming out with he was with Cena, he was with Liv Morgan. He was walking that red carpet with a lot of pride, even though he's probably in there for maybe 30 seconds of that movie, if that. December 27th. Okay, so we got 2 weeks, basically. But it makes sense. They're in Texas, right? So, sorry, I got the mute button here. Yeah, these sports biographies are a little tough. For you guys that don't know, I don't watch Dark Side of the Ring because it's more of a don't meet your heroes kind of thing for me. After my time in wrestling, I've sort of taken it back from the backstage stuff. I like to, while I know about it, I'd rather just stick to the in front of the ring stuff for the most part. But, oh, sorry, just quick note came on up there. It's going to be really interesting to see what they did with the Iron Claw movie when it comes to the old man Von Erich there, because many people did not have a very positive attitude towards him. So there could be a possibility that there could be some issues. There could be some rather interesting talking tos, descriptions coming out of that movie. From what I've heard, the Von Erichs do like it, so because I don't know if they'd have to ask for a go-ahead on anything or not, but I'm just glad that MJF managed to get a little bit of exposure for himself too. And here's one for you, and I know that online there was a lot of comments asking about it. A guy like John Cena, the fact that he's working with Warner Brothers all the time, or he's trying to work with Warner Brothers, do you think you see him in a AEW ring, whether it be just a special guest spot or a match, anytime in the future? I think there's a possibility, simply because I don't think he'd want to do it for loyalty, but at the same time, everybody that he was loyal to is no longer at WWE. It's like going back to your old job and seeing that everybody's replaced, so you don't really have any loyalty to go back there. So I don't ever work for another wrestling company. He says that now. CM Punk says he'll never go back to WWE. I just, once again, I say that. If you take him at his word, I appreciate that. Even if it's just for a spot, I think he might show up there one day. If Warner Brothers throws enough money at him. I'm still waiting for the night that we get to beat up. See, that's words should matter. They should. But I learned a long time ago that words don't mean a whole lot. So Jericho didn't get an entrance. Jericho did not get an entrance on Dynamite. Where have we got in 2023 now? So yeah, I can't wait for spring for when Peacemaker gets into Mortal Kombat. Just so merely we can get in there and, decapitate John Cena about a half a dozen times. Just to see how soothing it is for most people. But speaking of video games, have you seen what Fight Forever has now? They just announced this morning that they introduced Tower Play, basically, is the best way to explain it. They say it's the Elite Challenge. You got to take on 10 fights, and in the 10th one, you got to take on a member of the Elite to win. Ah, the Jets. And Bobby Hall cannot be insulted unless he watches wrestling. If you would say something, I'd appreciate it. So I gotta feel this will probably be a World's End match. It's interesting that we're getting all the Collision wrestlers coming over to Dynamite this week. See, AEW is as silly as Omega to WWE a few months ago. I can see the want, but it won't happen. Fair enough. Wish Stark's got a single push over the tag. Well, unfortunately, one Bill Phil took off with the singles title that they were going to use for that situation. You want to talk about people that are probably going to bail as soon as their contract's done? A fake world title that Punk did was terrible. Yeah, absolutely. Do I crush Trish Jericho? No. Ooh. Oh! Here we go. This crowd's all over it. Wow. Trademark, 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 trademark. Yeah, pretty much what we expected. Okay. Showing he's not an alpha on the stick. I think he's just in a feud that he really doesn't give two hoots about, to be honest. Oh God, here we go. Double A. Gotta love the muters. Just a means to end to have the Jets versus Adam and Christian. We've been talking about that for a while here. I do think that's what's going to end up happening. And that's going to happen at Revolution, is where they're going to get the Jets versus Adam and Christian to win the titles. Let's just no. You know, it's pretty sad when Starks is pretty much owning Jericho at this point. This is one of those, can we get the hook out? Made up with that one. A good Enzo joke always, will get things over, except the fact we're going to have to check out Real One on the X. This was... This is the biggest problem we have with AEW when in my opinion. You'll get a 10-minute promo that goes that should only be 5 minutes. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, this promo is way too... When the jokes aren't getting over, that's the part that gets me upset. Like, you would think two guys like Omega and Jericho... Well, Omega not as much because he's used to having no reaction when he does a promo. But Jericho, like, once... Why don't they call themselves the best damn tag team? Because they're trying to push the fact that they know that they're not going to be... That they don't have a name. That's one of the things they're pushing at their at the press conference and that. They're like, why do we need a name? We are just the two best wrestlers that team up on this planet. That we are the best tag team, but we are who we are. When we leave this building, we don't give a shh about each other. Well, what a shock, Saraya's not here. Sorry, I just got to throw this out here. Sorry, there we go. We just had send that out. Sorry about that, chat. Bring it up to Tasmaniac. That's cool. All right, somebody find Shadow to Cloud. Riho's on our screens here. Yeah, Riho basically was one of the first victims of the Outcasts once they really formed as a three-person team. But this should be fun here, watching Ruby and Riho going at it here. And my eyes are going to go sore because I'm flipping back and forth to black and white in color. I love how Tony just absolutely doesn't know anything about anything that happened before. I love the sign, please give us women's tag titles, you cowards. Give us more matches. Did Aubrey and Ruby know they wore the same thing? That's one thing I'm actually surprised about. Why wrestling referees don't have alternate jerseys. Oh, God. Well, no, just if they look so much similar, like as a referee in my sports that I actually had to move, like basketball or soccer and whatnot, we had to have a separate set of jerseys available in case we match one of the teams. Like any team that wore a black one, we wouldn't be able to wear a traditional black shirt. We'd have to, like I had a red one as a spare. I actually had a red one and a fluorescent yellow one, so I look like an outdoor pylon. And I know in basketball they make teams wear pennies if they don't have an alternating jersey of the referee. In many cases. Rio's got to be a little quicker on that. Ruby just looks silly, just trying to hang there, just trying to get herself brought back up. It's one of the spots in wrestling, I don't care if it's male or female, one of the spots that drives me nuts. All Ruby had to do was wear one more color. Like, just like Tony was saying, where's her green hair? Where's where she used to be. Nice STO. Or a different pattern? Well, that would just be obvious. Because, yeah, we still got 3 more matches tonight, so. And I'm assuming you're going to get at least one promo segment. But all the promos we've been asked about are already out the door already, so I'd assume that the Roosh Lethal and Briscoe White matches probably won't go that long compared to what Swerve and Mox will. I mean, Bray wore red in the same way, and boom, he looked different. Well, there you go. But yeah, I know I was a little more pickier when I was dealing with basketball for that kind of jersey thing. And we know it's all about the boom, right? Well, yeah, boom. There you go. Just to make it up for you here. I am impressed the fact that I don't know whether it's intentional just to prove that he's not at the arena, but Adam Cole will go online to stream day of shows now. He used to not do that at all. But now he will he'll get on the old Twitch box and he'll run right until an hour and a half before the show. And if we know the show isn't local for him, you know he ain't going to be there. I do like the fact, right, just flopping back to the match here, I do like the fact that they are going to give Riho a bit of a chance here to mix things up a little bit. I know they got a lot more people on the roster that they can work with. But it also gives us a chance to realize that... volume back up. Parrish with the 278 payoff points to the challenge. We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get close. No artistic nudity. Well, my head's naked. I don't know if that helps, Crowder. Yeah, I was watching the patch notes today that Clancy was talking about it, the CEO of Twitch. Basically, they're just trying to streamline things a little better. And the only problem they're having right now is there is a trend going around that VTubers are coming up with more naked models, for lack of a better term. You could draw a little circle on top of your head and wear a massive turtleneck. That might work. How you doing tonight, Crowder, by the way? Hope everybody is doing well in the Twitch world here. Yeah, just don't mention any money numbers. That's all I ask. Just got home for the kids' Christmas concert. So I'm actually surprised you can hear me. Nice little crucifix bomb there. But, yeah, you missed a hell of a fight tonight. El Idolo defeated Brody King. They had to move the Blue League match over to tonight. And then you had Roddy lose to Adam Page. We got the Winnipeg Jets, as Kenny Omega called them, challenging now the champions Ricky Starks and Big Bill for the tag titles on the 30th. Yes, it was a slip-up. He called them the Winnipeg Jets first. You know that clip's going to be used. And we still have 3 more Gold League matches to go on tonight, so. Roddy lost to Adam Page. Oh, there's plenty of ways she could do it right. Yeah. And Ruby gets another loss as expected. Full props to Tony Storm fleshing out this character. I want to see how long it can last. If they could get her down to Vegas with that gimmick. Is Ruby going to get a hug from someone in the back later? Who knows? Ruby is another one that said that she'll never picture herself going back to WWE, so. Now we're getting one of these Peacock type ads for Wardlow. I really wonder where they're going to go with Wardlow at this point. They're getting the vignettes. They're trying to get him over a little bit here, but we need some matches. Oh, you meant Angelo Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah, I'll do this to myself. Give it a half one there. No, isn't 2.0 mostly a Saturday act these days? So Rush has to win this. And whoever... Let me do some permutations, combinations for you here. Rush has to win his next two. Jay White has to lose one of his next two. And whoever loses between Moxley and Strickland has to lose next week. And then there's a way for Rush to get into the playoff. Yes, I know that you have to... It's one thing I enjoy is the permutations, combinations, and deceptiveness. Everybody's got a bingo card out trying to figure things out. It's not that difficult, people. And I actually do appreciate how Tony put the 3 for the win and 1 for the draw. Because I'll be frank with you guys. Mike, once again. If we end up with a draw tonight between Strickland and Moxley, there is a possibility they may have to win and get some help depending on how the last two matches go. Because the one thing you'll learn if you ever watch the World Cup, I don't know how many of you guys are into the World Cup here. I will say that in the next couple of weeks we are going to be firing up EAFC again, mainly because Kayla's almost done her exams, so I want to see if we can maybe do some co-op stuff with her on that. And but regardless, back to my point here. When you go to the World Cup and it ends up being a tie, people panic a lot for the fact that, they gave up that extra point and that extra 2 points for that matter. Because when you do this scoring system, essentially it ends up being, like, I don't know how much you guys keep track of hockey, but the proverbial 4-point game that you have in the NHL, in a format such like this or in like English soccer, it's the proverbial 6-point game. And a tie actually ends up bringing you down, losing four potential points. Because 4 points get missed out completely there on both sides altogether. And it means you're just falling an extra 2 points behind at somebody else instead of in front. Hey, Astrid, how you doing here tonight? Hope you're doing well. I know Ed was in here earlier. I don't know if he's still in here tonight or not, but great to see everybody popping in here tonight. Exhausted but good. Yeah, I'm. It's been a busy day. We've been doing a lot of work. I finally got the videos edited up. We're on the gaming side. We are going to have 365 videos in 365 days. On the wrestling side, if you notice down underneath the points for the point redemptions, we just started a community goal. How the ref would book. So if we end up getting 150,000 points total, and it's a long-term goal. It's nothing short here, but I will do up one of those fancy how I would book videos, similar to what you see on like Wrestle Talk and what Adam Blampied was famous for. And we'll use the Discord to determine which topic we're going to cover. But first, we got to get to the goals. So feel free to donate your points. They don't cost you no money. It's part of the strategy I got coming up for next year. I don't know how much I'm going to get into actual wrestling coverage, but there are a couple wrestling related items I do want to get into this year. And once I get everything figured out, we will, I love how they're trying to put over Jay Lethal as much as they can, but next week they got Lethal versus who would be the Lethal versus Mark Briscoe is going to be next week, and that's going to be for the loser point. Yeah, like I was saying, there's some funky math you got to do here. But Rush has to win out in order to have a chance right now. Oh, and just a heads up, since we got a ton of people in here, I know that I said December 31st that we would be doing our year in review for me. I think I found a website that we're going to be able to do everything on, the tier list and whatnot. If I can get everything organized, we're probably going to do it actually on Saturday, because Twitch is pushing everyone to do them this week. So Saturday night we will we'll be here, and we will go through every single game that I played this year. We'll rank them between S tier and why the hell did we play that. There's a couple that'll fit into that last category, and a couple that'll fit in the first. We'll have a lot of fun. We'll talk about it, and then maybe fire up a couple of the games that or at least one game that we had a good experience with. So if I can get everything done up tomorrow, I will let you guys know on the old socials. And yes, Saturday will be a fun stream. Lethal combination? Oh my God, he finally hit it. It's been forever since he's been able to hit that lethal combination. As we head into our ad break. And that'll be it. He's out. Yep. Roosh needs it. Okay, so yeah, like Roosh is gonna have to win out. Lethal has lost all his matches. When if Jay White wins tonight, next week we're gonna have Lethal versus Mark Briscoe for who's not gonna get shut out. We're going to find that out right away here, but... But yeah, it almost looks like El Idolo is now have the head advantage over on the blue side. I am so excited to see what Moxley and Swerve can do for a first one, because they're gonna have to run it back. I can't see them doing it any other way here. Because I think Swerve, I think, has Briscoe left after this. And Mox has Lethal. Or no. No, it would be Mox and White. I'd have to see the bracket again. He's like, none of my guys are here. What's going on? How does that work? Oh, because White's got Moxley next. That's why. Okay, that makes sense. White's got Moxley. Strickland's got Roosh. And Lethal's got... Yeah, okay, that makes perfect sense. So if you haven't heard, coming up this Friday on the ROH pay-per-view, Final Battle, you got the BCC taking on Mark Briscoe and FTR in a 6-man tag. I do love that the fact they're using all this old ROH footage. It's interesting that right now, in terms of the TV deal, apparently Tony Khan's making sure that the ROH catalog is included in the same stuff. So could see Briscoe win this as a spoiler. I'd love to see it. Personally, I'd love to see it. Because if the reason I don't think that's going to happen is because there's too much drama next week if if White wins. And if Briscoe, like, don't get me wrong, I want to see it. And then Jay, the most that Jay can do is get third, so he'd be out. Yeah, that was a bit of a shot. No, he wants to wrap that cable around his neck. Okay, that actually is a clever way of doing it. Nice set elbows. Briscoe does look like he has a little extra pep in his step tonight, so maybe he is going to win. Don't get me wrong, Briscoe's always like had energy out there. Just all right, that's going to hurt. Haven't thrown that one out in a while, so I think I got to do that tonight. Yeah, it's more of a toss than a suplex. A little chop across the throat always helps. Twisted knee, head, doesn't know exactly what the hell to grab. I love it when somebody attacks a body where they have to try and figure out where they have to grab it out of there. So as we hit our picture-in-picture here. Yeah, like you said, Zodiac, I'd love to, it's one thing we really haven't seen in this tournament. Like, do we call El Idolo beating Brody King an upset? Just by the way that King's been destroying everybody, I'd say maybe, but El Idolo's no slouch. But other than that, I don't know if we've seen a real upset here at all. Like El Idolo Danielson, maybe? But this gold pool has been about as straight across as you would expect. Jay White winning all the way. Well, Jay White losing to Strickland, but winning the rest of the way. Bruce losing. What was it? Bruce losing his first one, but now he's 2-2, so he can go 3-2. Remsburg right all over it right now. But I don't know, what do you guys think? What have you guys thought about this classic right now? To me, I find it's a breath of fresh air. Like, let's face it, and I know we talked about this on previous weeks, but let's face it. When it comes to post-Survivor Series, pre-Royal Rumble, it is pretty much dead air for the most part. When it comes to intensity on matches and storylines wanting to be developed. And you can throw a tournament up like this at this time of year, where people can skip the odd match and they can still see, and there's still stakes and all that. I'd love it if it wasn't as predictable. Yeah, I think that's the one big thing about this. But I'm also wondering who else should have been a part of it. Like, was Omega going to be a part of it? Was Jericho going to be a part of it? Before they got mixed up in the tag scene. Was Samoa Joe going to be a part of it because he's a former champion? Roddy could have been a part. Yeah, absolutely. Adam Cole could have been a part. Like, that's one thing we could fantasy book. Or Hook even as a youngster. So White needs to win and White's got to beat Briscoe and he's got to beat Moxley. So what they do here is they put White over here, and then they make White and Moxley the main event next week. And Moxley, basically, it'll be a position where if White can beat Moxley, he'll be in. White Knight could have been great to take these L's over Lethal Briscoe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I knew they were going to be advertising. The fact that they got a women's main event for Final Battle is that pretty damn awesome. With Billy Starks and Athena. I really do have a feeling Athena's going to be moving up to this. Lee and Taylor? I want to give a shout out to Ethan Page right now. He's actually mentioned that he wants to get into some professional bodybuilding competitions. So he has really worked on his body. Why wasn't Keith Lee a part of this? There you go. That's another one. Like, here's the thing. We're probably going to get this next year. And with all this talk of people moving around and whatnot, could you imagine what kind of tournament we could come up with next year? Because I got a feeling next year they're probably going to put some different consequences on the tournament. Like the main events, possibly the main event spot at Revolution. I would love to see that be the case, actually, if it more so than anything. That went down in a hurry. That Razor's Edge was short. Make it for a world title match with preferred stipulations. Absolutely. And he's got that supersized brace on his knee there. I thought you almost got your wish there. Trying to go for that straight jacket DDT and he just couldn't get it there. All right, White, you got to hurry up and do this. For example, Danielson wins next year, gets a world title match against Cole with pure rules. Hey, that's exactly what I'm... Nice little throw of his own. Oh, almost biffed it. Second time he's gotten hit on the elbow. Here it is. Done. Yeah, let's set up that drama for next week. Jay White puts pineapple on pizza. That's an epic sign. That is a great sign. People should put pineapple on pizza. It's very tasty. So yeah, essentially the winner between... Okay. Jay White is a good man then. Absolutely. So hopefully what Jay White needs is a Strickland win here, which would actually make a lot of sense in many ways here too, because anchovies are also good on pizza. You know what? I will take your word for it. I respect your decision, but I will not touch that. I deal with enough fish in these days, but it's an interesting story. I don't know where they're going to go with this. If Moxley wins tonight, it's going to be simple. It's going to be the winner of Rush and Strickland's going to get the last playoff spot. If Strickland wins, then there's a potential for Jay White to get in there. So how many storylines do they want to play up next week? Put them in some olive oil, feta, and spin it? I'll give you that. I'll give you that. The only reason I say that is because that looks like a pizza that would be coming out of Blaze Pizza here, which haven't had in a while. Probably going to get this weekend. And, you know, but for me, it's usually a meat lover's everything, so. That's a good question for you guys. What's your go-to pay-per-view wrestling meal? For me, it's always been the same thing. Like, when I was a kid, when we would have the pay-per-views in the theaters, our local Cineplex Odeons would always get the WWE pay-per-views. So I'd always pick up a pizza, a large popcorn, and a large pop. It would always be the same. Same Hawaiian pizza with a large bucket of popcorn. Yes, butter. That's why my gut's the way it is. And then you have the large pop there sitting on the side. The pizza you would eat during the pre-show. That way you have the popcorn for the entire show. And it just seems to be a habit that I've continued through even to this day. Like when we're not streaming here, I do that. Speaking of pizza, go to Italy. It's real pizza. It's worth it. Yeah. I've only been to the continental states, I would say. Sorry, not just the continental states. I've also been Hawaii as well. That's about my extension of how far I've gone places, so. I appreciate the fact that FTR has been staying very quiet for the last little bit. Because, well, frankly, they've had to be quiet with everything that's been going on. I love the fact that they're not charging anybody pay-per-view fees for that show. All the respect to Justin Roberts, always looking dapper. All right, Nana, let's get to work. There, he's not allowed to come to ringside. I'm not allowed to do any more dance than that. It's hard work to, dance that strong there. And, got to take care of all those DMs from the ladies after seeing all that kind of dancing, right? Sorry, I'm a little late on my own drum roll there. That guy needs a little... At least I got more rhythm than that guy in the crowd. I love that Swerve's just coming out. No jacket, just the hoodie. Sell the merch. Sell the merch. It is Christmas time. And I hate this effing song. Still disappointed I can't keep that clip in anymore. Used to have that as a sound effect. This song just reminds me that baseball season's on its way, and maybe the Blue Jays might have a team by then. Yeah, the only way that works out with the perfect stuff is if... So yeah, if Swerve wins this, then the White versus Moxley match is for one of the two playoff spots. I do appreciate how much they're trying to influence this with the crowd, for the mere fact that so many people have been complaining they can't figure out the bingo card. They wanted to treat this like a sport. Let's treat it like a sport. That's what they're doing tonight, so. Crowd's into it already. All right, so they did have 20 minutes, so... Guys, stop yapping about the time. Like, seriously. Quit talking about the time. Just let it run. I think Mox really enjoys this. The fact that he actually gets to face. they're actually getting into wrestling. Like, Mox usually doesn't do this. He's usually one of those guys that'll beat you up first, ask questions later. I would love to see a double count out just to piss off the internet right now. Renee's going to be pissed with that kiss. Oh, damn. You might, if you're an NXT spoilerish, you might want to mute your stuff for about a minute here. Yeah, apparently Ilya Dragunov got hurt at the tapings tonight, so gonna be interesting to see what goes on there. So apparently he was facing Ridge Holland, which Ridge is now cursed. Or not, maybe he's invited. Renee could be that crazy, you know. Apparently they were talking about doing it on a balcony at New Year's Eve in New York City. On the balcony of a hotel. It was one of those sessions that Renee had, one of those interviews she had with Moxley. And Moxley's not exactly shy about hiding stuff, so. Jeez, that's inventive. That was inventive. I like that move. If you're going to do an avalanche DDT, that looked pretty sweet. Moxley don't care if you get hit in the head. You just want a chair to sit down in for a few minutes. There you go. Found another chair. Whoa. Did you notice that Swerve just kept the wrist control even as he threw him into the ring? Swerve's been a hell of a smart person in this match here. Literally did. And he's biting the tricep where the injury is. Oh, this is not going to be good. Oh, that could be some rope burn there. Rope burn. think I said it before, but Swerve was WWE's. Yeah, I know. We talk about it almost every week here that, Swerve was probably the biggest mistake they made in terms of releases here, because there's just so much damn potential right in front of his face, and just Vince cannot see in front of him. And, well, how do I put this politely? Vince sees things very much so in black and white. And Swerve would never have gotten the top title. I know Roman is Samoan and jacked and all that. I don't think if he wasn't the cousin of Rocky, he wouldn't... Vince can't see him. He said the room was too dark. Exactly. Throw a whistle on that one. Just ridiculous. But Moxley's like, I love that they're doing spots like this on the ropes and all that. Just to, now they get the superplex and then they'll be able to relax for. Moxley's right back up. He don't sell no superplex. I guess it's picture-in-picture time. You don't have to. Now they're getting into the selling point, which actually works out rather well here tonight. Just main event spot. They know they're going to be going extra time here tonight, so we got about 10 minutes left according to the extra 5-minute overrun. Once again, I understand exactly why I know people hate it, but hate that it's announced like that, but at the same time, people know they're not going to be turning away anytime soon here, so. But as we're getting close to the end here and we're getting into this main event, what'd you think of Dynamite tonight overall? We'll wrap things up and once we're done here, and we'll send you guys off to, as long as he's still on, the Thickness Reed Matthews, local wrestler here who just made his return to Twitch tonight. So we'll send you over his way and let you pontificate with him, and probably playing some Pokemon or something. So my thoughts tonight are, they got to clean up that promo with the tag champs. That took a lot longer than it should have. They wouldn't need the 5-minute overrun if Jericho didn't run over time. Even though I do blame Omega more than I blame Jericho on that one, because Omega just did not have the stick measurement tonight. Shut up, Excalibur! Don't remind us! If you're not going to force yourself to talk about time in every match, don't talk about it in any match. Because here's the thing. If they go to a tie, I was rattling the numbers through my head. Both winners of Roosh versus Swerve and Mox versus White will be moving on next to the semifinals. Swerve's all over it here with the nice dance moves. Shot over. Oh, there we go. Out of nowhere! Out of nowhere! Out of nowhere! That was pretty amazing. Yeah, fair enough. I always wondered why that was the case, but that makes a lot of sense actually, because if you drive your hands down at the same time you take your body down, you're sort of pushing the body down a little further. Theoretically, of course. Crowd's 50-50. That's what you like with something like this. You don't need a heel or a face in this match, even though we know we have. We have two guys that'll regularly fit both, right? Oh, he almost didn't get him there. Well, there goes that surge of adrenaline. Do you imagine this crowd going home upset if this ends up being a draw? Oh, here we go. Even though his stomps aren't working that well. Yeah, there you go. And Moxley's like, come on, hurry up and hit me. Swerve going to the wrong corner. Mox adjusting perfectly. Oh, Jesus. Instead of knocking him over, just instead of crotching him, yeah, let's just throw him outside. And meets with a curb stomp. Swerve's holding up here. Out on the bad arm, too. It's actually really smart how they got that transition going there. Once again, over to Z ropes. Now he's going for the chair's illegal. Yeah, but if he gets DQ and gets knocked out, he doesn't have to worry about the semis or the final. He can take a vacation for a couple weeks. There's no way. Oh, this is going to be awesome. Damn cameraman. And Moxley kicks out at 2.99 100s. Wow. Okay. All right. So quick math in my head here. The winner of Swerve versus Roosh will get the second spot. And White cannot win now because even if he beats Moxley, he lost to both Roosh and to... Oh, no, he lost to... Okay. No, never mind. No, Jon Moxley's guaranteed him spots, so just don't even try to confuse anybody here. Dang, all right. Be interesting to see what kind of numbers we got coming up after this, so. They're still going to milk this 5-minute overrun that they got. So as they go through the rundown of everything that's going on tonight, Kingston and Garcia, Castagnoli and El Idolo, Brody King and Danielson. What the? Oh, and now the Devils guys are beating up. Now that we got a size. Honestly, Parrish, I think he beats Moxley in the rematch for the gold final. All right, and that's an interesting way to end things off here. Yeah, personally, I think it just Swerve's going to win next week. He's going to be facing Moxley again, going into on the Wednesday. He'll get his win, and then he'll go on to the Continental Cup final. On the other side, who knows where we're going to end up here in this case, because we could be all over the place. El Idolo's right in line right now, but I think the winner of King and Danielson will probably end up being 2. And then Castagnoli right now, he's stuck in a 3 spot. But all in all tonight, the wrestling was good. The Swerve being Moxley next doesn't settle Moxley Swerve. Oh, absolutely. But it saves for that third match for later. You can all... This is just the tournament. You save that third match for another time. That's the best. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to do that third match right away. So, I'd have Mox losing the final and Swerve be the next challenger and the winner. Yeah. We'll see. Like I said, there's a million different permutations, combinations. We still got to get through next week before we figure out what's going to happen. But like I said, overall tonight, I think the wrestling was good. The promos were horrible. That last segment, we actually have a body type now of who the guy is. Who is the devil in this case. looks like it could be Roddy in terms of a frame, but who knows at this point? It could be Christian for all we know. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens next week here. So.